the legendary Prince of Darkness and founding father of heavy metal, Ozzy Osbourne, has left an unforgettable mark at the age of 76. In the world of rock, few names hold a legacy as powerful as Ozzy's. He wasn't just an icon, he was a global force, cherished and admired by generations of fans. In his final chapter, life became much quieter than anyone might have imagined for such a towering figure. During those calm days, the man once known for his wild and mysterious energy stepped away from the spotlight and found peace beyond the pursuit of fame. In the end, Ozzy's thoughts weren't on the stage or the spotlight. His heart was centered on one deeply personal wish, something only his wife, Sharon, could help make real. It wasn't a passing idea, but a heartfelt desire that shaped his final days and brought him a rare sense of peace. If Ozzy Osbourne's life or music has ever made you laugh, reflect, or feel inspired, take a moment to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss more powerful stories like this. Drop a 1 in the comments if you've ever felt connected to Ozzy's legacy, or a 0 if you see it differently. Now, let's explore the touching story behind that final wish and how it gave him comfort when the world grew quiet. Just a few weeks later, the world said goodbye to Ozzy Osbourne, leaving behind not only a groundbreaking musical legacy, but also a life defined by chaos, triumph, and a farewell that touched millions around the globe. As the final chapter of his story unfolded, Ozzy seemed to recognize how precious his remaining time had become. After years of living with Parkinson's disease, his health had weakened, and he knew the closing curtain was near. Through it all, one person stood unshaken by his side, his wife, Sharon Osbourne. She wasn't just his partner in life, but his truest friend and greatest source of strength, more than anyone. Sharon understood what he was facing and never once turned away. She met those quiet, difficult days beside him, doing everything she could to ensure that Ozzy's final chapter was filled with love, peace, and dignity. Ozzy Osbourne's final chapter wasn't just a story of goodbye, it was a testament to Sharon's unwavering devotion to the life they had built together. She endured the pain of watching her husband's strength fade with each passing day. Yet she never faltered in her promise to honor his wishes. With quiet courage and endless love, Sharon stayed by Ozzy's side, guiding him through the hardest moments and helping him find peace in their shared journey. Though Ozzy could no longer do what once defined him, his last days held deep meaning spent close to those he loved, surrounded by the comfort of Sharon's care. His farewell wasn't simply the close of a remarkable life, it was a powerful tribute to love, loyalty, and the enduring spirit of one of music's most iconic legends. Parkinson's is a relentlessly progressive condition, and for Ozzy, it took a profound toll, especially on his legs. As Sharon once shared in an interview, though his health struggles were well known and few expected a full recovery, it was still difficult to see someone once so powerful on stage grow physically fragile. Yet what stood out most was Ozzy's incredible mental strength. Even as his body changed, his quick wit and unmistakable sense of humor never left him. Those closest to him often talked about his warmth and sharp humor, how he kept cracking jokes and sharing clever remarks that filled the room with laughter. Despite the challenges, Ozzy never lost what made him so loved: his rare ability to connect, uplift, and make everyone around him feel at home. Though his body had grown fragile, Ozzy's voice, the very soul of his legendary career, remained remarkably untouched. Longtime fans were amazed that his vocals still carried the same raw power and defiance, echoing the spirit that had defined his music for decades. While his physical strength had faded, his voice continued to captivate, rich, emotional, and unmistakably Ozzy. It stood as a powerful reminder that true artistry endures, even through time and challenge. In those quiet moments, that voice became more than just sound, it became a reflection of everything he had shared with the world. And through it, Ozzy Osbourne secured his place in history, an eternal icon whose legacy will keep resonating in the hearts of music lovers for generations to come. It was a striking contrast. Ozzy's body grew weaker, yet his spirit seemed fueled by something deeper, something beyond himself. As Parkinson's gradually took its toll, Ozzy drew from a quiet inner strength that helped him face life's closing chapter with remarkable grace. Those closest to him noticed a shift in his outlook during those final weeks. He became more reflective, more at peace, as if each day was a gentle walk through the memories of a life lived without fear. His conversations with Sharon often turned to the past, the wild years with Black Sabbath, his explosive solo career, and the whirlwind of family life, chaotic at times, but overflowing with love. If anyone had a story worth remembering, it was Ozzy Osbourne. As the days unfolded, he spent that time in deep reflection, not just on what had been, but on what truly mattered, speaking openly about the moments he still cherished most. Sharon spoke softly about those final conversations, sharing that Ozzy had opened up about a few deeply personal wishes, things he felt he needed to fulfill to find true peace within himself. These weren't fleeting thoughts, they were the heartfelt intentions of a man seeking closure, wanting to leave behind a sense of meaning and completeness. Whatever it was, Sharon said, she made it her mission to make it happen. For her, this went beyond caring for her husband. It became a sacred promise, a spiritual vow to honor his wishes and bring him comfort in those final days. During that time, Sharon was more than a devoted wife. She was his anchor, his strength, and the guardian of the legacy Ozzy had spent a lifetime building. It wasn't just a simple request, but a deeply personal final wish, a profound responsibility that Sharon, as his wife, partner, and manager, carried with unwavering grace. This wasn't something small or symbolic. It was a heartfelt promise she fulfilled with all her love and devotion. For fans around the world, the news of July 22nd felt like an earthquake marking the close of a legendary era in music history. But for those who truly knew him, the moment carried a bittersweet sense of peace. Ozzy didn't simply fade from the spotlight. He stepped away on his own terms, leaving behind a legacy built with purpose, passion, and everything he ever dreamed to accomplish. In those final days, Sharon was there, steadfast and unshakable, making sure everything unfolded exactly as Ozzy had wished, with quiet strength and boundless love. She wasn't just his wife, she was his anchor, the one person who stayed by his side to see his deepest wish fulfilled. That time was filled with tenderness and care, a gentle space where his hopes were honored and his heart finally found peace. When the moment came, it wasn't simply an ending, it was a profound, complete, and deeply meaningful farewell. Just as Ozzy had envisioned, Ozzy Osbourne's final wish was deeply moving, heart-wrenching, yet fulfilled in true Ozzy fashion, with unwavering determination and profound respect for the legacy he built over a lifetime. And standing beside him, as she had for more than 40 years, was Sharon Osbourne, the woman who turned that final wish into reality. Their bond was far more than a marriage. It was an unbreakable partnership that endured public storms, private struggles, and the immense weight of global fame. Sharon wasn't just his wife, she was his confidant, his manager, and his steady presence through every triumph and every trial, especially during the most defining moments of his later years. Through every high and low in both their careers and personal lives, Sharon remained a pillar of unwavering love and loyalty. Together, they weathered countless storms, from battles with addiction to the unpredictable chaos of Ozzy's larger-than-life career. Yet it was within those very struggles that their love deepened. becoming a powerful testament to a partnership grounded in resilience, compassion, and mutual respect. The bond within the Osbourne family stands as a lasting example of how to face life's hardest moments with unity, grace, and a love that grows stronger through every challenge. Sharon isn't just Ozzy's wife, she's his manager, his soulmate, and in many ways, the steady force that kept him grounded through life's toughest storms. Their bond runs deeper than love. It's rooted in loyalty, understanding, and unshakable support. Their story began in the late 1970s, when Sharon's father, Don Arden, managed Black Sabbath. From the start, Sharon, strong, sharp, and full of charisma, formed an instant connection with Ozzy. What began as a spark soon evolved into something far greater, built on empathy, trust, and a shared sense of purpose. Sharon wasn't only a devoted partner, she was the one who stood by Ozzy through the chaos of fame, guiding him through his darkest battles and helping him rise again. In 1982, Sharon and Ozzy exchanged vows, marking a defining moment in their extraordinary journey together. Through every trial and triumph, their relationship didn't just endure, it grew stronger with time. Their bond has become one of rock's most enduring symbols of love, built on unshakable commitment and countless sacrifices. Together, they've weathered everything from career challenges to personal struggles. That deep connection became their anchor, helping them withstand the weight of fame and the unpredictable chaos of a rock and roll life. Sharon and Ozzy's love story is more than a celebrated marriage. It's a timeless testament to devotion, resilience, and the power of standing side by side, no matter what life brings. In the years that followed, Sharon became more than a devoted wife. She rose as a public figure in her own right. From managing Ozzy's solo career to co-starring in the hit MTV reality series The Osbournes, she became deeply connected to both his professional world and their family life. The show offered fans a rare, unfiltered glimpse into the Osbournes' daily life. And Sharon's resilience shone through as she revealed a family built not just on humor, but on genuine love and connection. She wasn't only managing a rock legend's career, she was fiercely protecting their private moments, ensuring that even under the bright lights of fame, their bond remained unbreakable. Sharon balanced it all, fame and family, chaos and care, with remarkable grace and quiet strength. Throughout Ozzy's long and well-documented struggles with addiction, Sharon remained a constant, unwavering force by his side. She wasn't just his wife, she was his anchor, the steady presence that kept his life and career from falling apart. During the hardest years, when Ozzy faced his most difficult battles, Sharon stood strong, never once losing faith in him. Even in the darkest times, she showed patience and resilience, always encouraging him to keep going. Sharon was more than a partner. She was the grounding force that safeguarded Ozzy's legacy and helped him rise above challenges that had claimed so many in the rock world. Her strength and loyalty became the foundation of his survival, both as a man and as an artist. As Ozzy's health began to decline, his bond with Sharon grew even deeper. In 2003, he was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, a challenge he kept private for many years before publicly sharing it in 2020. The diagnosis brought immense trials, not only for Ozzy but for his entire family. Over time, he faced the difficult realities of the illness, the physical strain, the loss of strength, and the emotional weight of learning to adapt to a new way of life. For someone who had spent decades commanding the stage with unstoppable energy, it was an especially hard adjustment. Yet through every setback, Sharon and their family stood firmly by his side, offering the love, courage, and reassurance that helped him keep moving forward with dignity and heart. Sharon, who has bravely spoken about the emotional weight of watching Parkinson's take its toll on Ozzy, carried much of the burden both emotionally and logistically through those challenging years. She wasn't just his wife, she was his foundation. A steady source of love and strength, always there when he needed her most. Sharon was also the first to acknowledge that their touring days, the electric shows, and unforgettable nights on stage had come to an end. After a lifetime spent facing every challenge side by side, she knew it was time for change. "I've been doing this since I was 15, and now I'm done. We just want to live our lives, do what we want to do, and not be on a schedule anymore," she told Billboard in an interview shortly before stepping back from the spotlight. It was a moment of profound acceptance, a realization that their next chapter was no longer about fame, but about peace, presence, and the simple joy of living life together. The Osbournes introduced Ozzy and his family to an entirely new generation of fans, people who may not have grown up with his music but were instantly captivated by his humor and the wonderfully chaotic energy that filled every episode. The show offered more than entertainment. It revealed a side of Ozzy the world had rarely seen: a man who was genuine, relatable, and deeply human. The bond between Ozzy, Sharon, and their children became the heart of the series, showing how they navigated life's highs and lows with laughter, love, and understanding. While Ozzy's music might not have reached everyone, the Osbournes allowed him to connect with millions on a personal level, people who saw reflections of their own families in the beautiful, imperfect, and heartwarming moments of his. The legacy of the Prince of Darkness, born John Michael Osbourne on December 3, 1948, in Aston, Birmingham, is a story of transformation and triumph. Raised in a humble, working-class family, Ozzy faced immense challenges early in life, yet rose above them to become a global icon who forever reshaped the world of rock music. His journey wasn't just about fame or success, it was a living testament to resilience, creativity, and the power of art to transform a life. In 1968, alongside the members of Black Sabbath, Ozzy helped pioneer a bold new sound, heavy metal defined by thunderous riffs and haunting intensity. It marked the beginning of a musical revolution, with Black Sabbath leading the charge and inspiring generations of artists for decades to come. Black Sabbath's self-titled debut album, released in 1970, introduced the world to unforgettable tracks like Paranoid, Iron Man, and War Pigs. These songs didn't just redefine rock, they reshaped its very foundation, securing Black Sabbath's place at the pinnacle of music history, with thunderous riffs and lyrics that echoed the tension, rebellion, and uncertainty of their time. The band's sound became the voice of a restless generation. Tracks like Paranoid grew into timeless anthems, transcending the boundaries of heavy metal to inspire millions across decades. At the center of it all was Ozzy Osbourne, whose unmistakable voice and electrifying stage presence made him the heartbeat of a musical revolution and a legend forever etched in the hearts of fans around the world. With an extraordinary solo career and iconic hits like Crazy Train, Ozzy Osbourne secured his place among the greatest rock vocalists in history. Crazy Train, with its unforgettable guitar riffs and Ozzy's commanding vocals, became more than just a rock anthem. It symbolized his resilience, creativity, and unstoppable spirit. Yet Ozzy's influence reached far beyond his music. Through the hit MTV reality series, The Osbournes, he introduced himself to a new generation, transforming his family into cultural icons. The show revealed a side of Ozzy the world had rarely seen: funny, down to earth, and surprisingly relatable, while highlighting the deep love and connection he shared with Sharon and their children. Together, the Osbournes became one of the most beloved and enduring families in global pop culture. Despite earning countless honors over his career, including induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Ozzy Osbourne will forever remain one of the most iconic figures in music history. His legacy reaches far beyond his songs and albums. It lives on in the countless artists he inspired and the generations he continues to influence. Every time his voice cuts through the speakers, every time his music fills the air, Ozzy reminds the world why he stands as an immortal force in rock, a legend whose spirit, sound, and influence will continue to echo through time for generations to come. For this, Ozzy needed Sharon's unwavering support. There was only one place that could give him the farewell he truly deserved: Birmingham, the city where his story began and his life was forever changed. Birmingham wasn't just Ozzy's hometown, it was the very heart of who he was. This industrial city, the birthplace of Black Sabbath, has long been celebrated as the beating heart of heavy metal, and no one embodied that spirit more than Ozzy, its most legendary son. For him, Birmingham wasn't merely the beginning, it was the foundation of his legacy, the place where his music, his identity, and the legend of Ozzy Osbourne first took flight and began to echo across the world. In the months leading up to July 2025, Birmingham underwent a remarkable transformation to honor Black Sabbath and their legendary frontman, Ozzy Osbourne. The city launched the Summer of Sabbath, a celebration dedicated to recognizing the band's monumental influence on music and global culture. What began as a civic tribute soon became a heartfelt expression of gratitude from Birmingham to one of its most iconic sons. Across the city, art installations, concerts, and special events paid homage to Black Sabbath's timeless legacy, each reflecting the band's deep connection to the place that shaped them. Through this tribute, Birmingham bestowed its highest honors, forever enshrining Black Sabbath and Ozzy Osbourne into the very fabric of music history. Among the many honors, the four original members of Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne, Tony Iommi, Geetsa Butler, and Bill Ward were awarded the Freedom of the City of Birmingham, a fitting tribute from the place that shaped their story. To celebrate their extraordinary careers, the city renamed a bridge in their honor, creating a lasting monument to their influence. A commemorative bench was also unveiled. But the most striking tribute of all was a massive mural of Ozzy Osbourne, painted across the end of Villa Park Stadium. The venue where football fans and heavy metal enthusiasts had gathered for generations was transformed into a landmark honoring the city's deep bond with its most iconic band. That evening was far more than a ceremony. It was Birmingham's heartfelt salute to its greatest musical sons, a celebration of a global legacy forever woven into the city's soul and the history of rock itself. This return was more than a concert, it was an emotional homecoming. The celebration became a once-in-a-lifetime experience for fans who traveled from across the globe to be part of it. One fan from the U.S. put it best: meeting Ozzy in his hometown was truly a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Moments like that captured the true essence of the night. It wasn't just about the music, it was about the unbreakable bond between Ozzy and his fans. A connection built over decades of shared passion and emotion. For one unforgettable evening, the past, present, and future of Black Sabbath came together, creating a powerful collective memory that will live on in the hearts of everyone who witnessed it. You could feel the history in the air. Those weren't just the words of one fan, they captured the collective emotion of everyone who witnessed this extraordinary event. Even people who had followed Ozzy's journey from afar could sense the magnitude of the moment, a night where the past and future came together in one powerful celebration. The global media quickly recognized its impact. With a star-studded lineup featuring some of the biggest names in rock and metal, a stadium filled with 40,000 passionate fans, and a worldwide audience reaching millions, This concert became more than just a performance, it was a global phenomenon. It stood as a living testament to the enduring legacy of Ozzy Osbourne, Black Sabbath, and the timeless influence they've had on generations of artists and music lovers around the world. Even before Ozzy's final farewell, tributes had already begun to pour in a reflection of his extraordinary achievements and his lasting influence on rock and metal music. Ozzy's image had long since transcended that of a performer. He had become a symbol, a guiding light for generations of musicians and fans alike. When the time finally came, those who had shared the stage and the journey with him couldn't hide their emotion. Messages of love and respect flooded in not only from his closest friends, but also from some of the biggest names in music artists who had been shaped by his sound, his spirit, and his fearless authenticity. It was clear that Ozzy's impact was immeasurable, and his legacy will continue to live on in his music, in the people he inspired, and in the eternal legend of the Prince of Darkness.